Meeting order, please, Miss Diane, if you'll call the roll.
Yes, sir. Ross?
Here.
Hamilton is not here. Taylor?
Here.
Robinson?
Here.
Baxter?
Here.
Harris?
Here.
Ginn?
Here.
And Hyde is absent. A quorum is present, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. If you don't mind, Ms. Ginn, if you'll say a prayer and a pledge for us.
Lord Jesus, we're very grateful for the new Justice Center as well as the new accessible playground at Lehman. Thank you for your help that you've given in seeing these projects through. You are so willing to hear our requests no matter what time of day. Council member Height is still in the hospital after his bicycle accident, and please help him recover really soon. Bless his family and friends during this difficult time, because he's surely missed tonight. And our police department, fire department, and MEMS need your protection, and I ask you to send angels to encamp each one of these employees and help our city to continue to grow and develop according to your plans for us. We have business to be accomplished tonight. We ask your blessings on each discussion and vote. Grant us wisdom and guidance in Jesus' name. Amen.
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 I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Second.
Motion second.
On the motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting, Ross?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
And Ginn?
Yes.
Anyone wants to put any communication, any pull any communication tonight? Not?
I'll move to accept and file communications 1 and 2.
Second.
Motion accepted.
On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Ginn?
Yes.
If I can beg your indulgence for just a little bit, Chris, I saw you earlier. If you'd come on up, I've got a presentation I'd like for him to make available to y'all, if you don't mind, please.
Okay, yeah, I'm Chris Kent. I'm the Executive Director of the Argenta Downtown Council. Thank you all for letting me share this with you today. Over the last couple of months, I've been working with the mayor on this particular project, and he's brought it up in several different meetings. What we're looking at doing is putting in what are called parklets into the downtown area to help, number one, slow down traffic, and number two, help create more business and more vibrancy downtown. What we do, if we can go to the next slide, please. In front of these buildings here, one is on the east side and one is on the west side of Main Street. Crush, Skinny J's, and Reno's, and then on the opposite side will be Brood and Barley, the Akansa Gallery, and then Four Quarter Bar. We're looking at building out into the parallel parking spaces to create additional dining space outside. Okay, we'll go to the next one. Here's the design that we've come up with. We partnered with Rock Region Metro on this. With them, they're able to get funding through some federal transportation grants, and it's a way to mitigate risk for the trolley. So as the trolley's going down the street, the parking spaces on those sides create a risk problem for people that could potentially walk in front of it. So it solves a problem for them, but also creates some additional space for us to generate tax revenue and, just like I said, create a good time downtown. Let's go to the next one. So you can see how part of it is built out up to the edge of the trolley line at the white line for parking. There's a couple of bollards placed in front of it here to protect anybody from being able to run into it. It has a rail where you see the high top seating facing out so people can hang out that way, but also there's additional room for more tables and more dining. Both sections combined add about 2,000 square feet of additional space downtown for these particular businesses. Okay, we can go on through. There's a few here. You can just see a couple of different designs on it. And then keep going. And one more, I think. Okay, so this is in front of the Argenta Community Theater. This is the third part to the project. We're wanting to add a Mid-Street Crosswalk. This crosswalk here, let's go to the next one, goes from the parking lot across the street that's next door to the library, and it goes straight over to the community theater. So we've got a lot of people, kids, families, that they're certainly not going down to the corners to cross. So we saw this as an opportunity to make it a lot safer for people to get across the street to get to those businesses. It actually is going to go right up to the front of a new business, Cigar Culture, which is a new business that should be opening in January. It is a cigar lounge and a high-end drink bar. So it's going to be a great addition for downtown. We really just wanted to kind of give you guys an idea to see everything that we were doing with it. And what we wanted to do is today was really the first day the mayor has seen the completed project. I have Justin Avery here from Rock Region Metro. He is the CFO and acting CEO, so he's got two hats on right now.
The only questions, I've talked to Rock Region, of course, today, and we visited a little bit before. So any questions you might, I know they're getting the grant, I should call it, or it's funding, I should say.
Correct.
And what's our participation in this?
So with any FTA grant we have, the local match requirement's 20%. So that's what we'll be asking from North Little Rock, is to cover the local match portion of this project.
So in other words, as I think we're talking about approximately 85 to 90, let's say 100, let's say around.
Max around 100,
So our
$20,000.
participation on that would be a little less than $20,000 to get this done. They are at other cities. Chris, if you don't mind, did you have a question, Ron?
I did.
Oh, I'm sorry, I apologize. Go ahead, Ron.
What's the material this made out of?
The material they're using, it's going to be steel for the certainly the fencing going around, but they have a product called Bison Wood Tiles that's a pre-manufactured product that's made out of bamboo, multiple different type of sustainable wood products to make it that are weather resistant.
So that's the tiling, that's the
Yeah,
flooring?
let's back it up a little bit. You can kind of see it a little bit from
I
the.
saw a little bit of it. I don't,
Yeah, there it is,
There it
right
is.
there.
Yes.
So they build it in, they build it in sections when we do the manufacturing process, and they bring it in and can set it in real easily. It's easily duplicated, and that's something we really wanted to do, is make something that if we wanted to put more of these somewhere around town, that it would be the same, and we could use the same concept.
okay. So this is going to encourage more outdoor dining and stuff like that, is that right?
It is, and you know, like we said, number one, it'll slow down traffic, and that's one of the big concerns we've talked to the mayor about, is slowing it down on Main Street. But it also, like I said, creates an additional 2,000 square feet for dining for these particular restaurants. And with the way things have gone with COVID, we're just really having to get to the point that we understand that it's probably not just going to go away at this point. So we need to take advantage of this.
Okay.
Dave, if you don't mind, go ahead.
Well, parking is already a premium downtown. I mean, there's not enough parking in North Little Rock. So now we're going to take away some parking.
We are looking at between 9 and 10 parking places on Main Street. We recently did a count of free parking downtown within, I think it was within half a mile of from the back of the library. And we have 1,100 free parking places, including the 300 that the city just built behind First Orion and the new parking lot behind the trolley barn as well. So we're hoping that that'll offset the few parking places that we're asking to take away.
Well, I was down here at an event a couple weeks ago, and let me tell you, parking is a premium.
Right.
Yeah, it was tough.
Yeah.
Tough finding a parking spot.
Yeah, and you know, I'll say and I live on Fifth Street, so I'm seeing people park on Fifth Street. I'm seeing them park in the neighborhoods. They're finding the places to go. But right now, I think that, in my opinion, having people come down and need parking places because the businesses are so vibrant is probably a good problem to have.
Well, I'm all for business. I don't know. This is a tough one.
Debbie?
No, I just want to say that I don't think I've ever been to any sizable city that you haven't had to park a long ways away. There's never been anywhere you can just pull up in front. And for 9 parking spaces to get this outdoor, you know, with COVID, like you said, everyone's, you know, they've gone to the outdoor dining and they see that they like it. And so this is something that I'm looking forward to it. I know that I think, Diane, when we were in Seattle, I don't even know how many years ago that was, that, you know, that was the big thing that was coming, was the parklets and the outdoor dining and everything. And so, you know, it's been around a long time in a lot of cities, and I'm just glad to see that we're headed that way.
Well, and you know, these, you know, if you've been around and traveled lately and seen them outside, there's a lot of ones that are kind of janky. This isn't janky. This is fancy. This is different. This is a game changer for our downtown. This is something people around the state will envy.
Yes, ma'am.
There's one more thing that I would, on the crosswalk there, the mid-block crosswalk, if there's any way that we can have like the little flashing light that you push the button, that, I know in front of Oakland they have one, I don't know, they've got other places, but you push the button and it flashes so that, just make for safety reasons. Is that something too that?
Yeah, well, the mayor brought that up today when we were talking about this, that he would like to see something artistic, similar to a lot of the artistic crosswalks that you see around the country. Maybe it's some type of different painting, some type of something around it that really makes it stand out so that people can see when they're crossing that they're going to be safe and that the cars will slow down for them.
Well, while I'm thinking about it, and I'll shut up, but on that crosswalk there, there's something going on called a 3D crosswalk. Have you seen it yet? Fayetteville has them. Okay.
They're cool.
But I think that's what we need right there, I think.
You like the 3D idea?
I think it needs to be a 3D.
Make it look like a big hole?
Yeah, right there,
No.
right there.
No, I guess that's not good for the city.
3Ds are very popular though right now. I've seen them, yeah.
Yeah.
Maurice, yes, sir.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, I like the idea. I've traveled to many places that has this. Again, my concern is losing any parking in downtown, but I mean, I like it, like the concept, like the idea. And I'll probably get over my heartburn with the parking.
Well, the one thing we need to do, and one thing we need to pay attention to, and we're talking about starting this after the first year, we need to get some signage to show people where the parking is, because we've got it down here. We've got parking at the City Services Building. We've got parking at the old Bank of America. We've got the 2 new parking lots the city has built. There's the parking lot behind this building. We need to just make it where people can see where they can go and get around a little easier.
Did you take more or less a poll with your businesses down here, how they responded to this?
They've been very supportive of it. They see a great opportunity to bring more people down, whether it's the restaurants, but also places like there's retail, Bang Up Betty, that's above Restaurant Capeo, and also the Dogtown Dry Goods, which is further down between 7th and 8th. For retail to work, we need people on the streets. We need them walking around so that they'll go into these businesses and buy their goods.
Yes, sir.
There's a crosswalk over on is it 7th Street, across from the Capitol, coming from the Capitol, going over to one of the auxiliary buildings, and there's people crossing there often, and I've witnessed several times somebody almost getting hit because nobody recognizes there's a crosswalk. So if we're gonna do a crosswalk in the middle of the street, we gotta do it well. I mean, it's gotta be top shelf.
Absolutely.
That's what I said
agree.
today, wasn't it?
100%.
Yes, ma'am, Ms. Deb.
Yeah, I just want to say the average 2-person per car, that's 18 people, and you're gaining 2,000 square feet, and those 18 people, that one car may be parked there all night, and here you've got people coming and going all night in a 2,000 square feet. It's a big bang for your buck.
Yeah, I think so as well. And our parking places are pretty wide, pretty long down here. They're longer than the average parking place. So we may actually, when we restripe, gain a parking space. It may not go to that full 9 or 10.
Anything else? Ms. Gann?
What do you think about asking the restaurants that benefit from this to help fund it?
To do what?
To help them help fund it. Well, one thing we talked about was them doing of course, the fixtures on the tables, the chairs, those type of things on there. So they'll have to cover that cost of that to do it. So they will have an investment in it as well.
Anybody else? Yes, ma'am.
One more thing is, the money that we're putting in, we're not having to put any kind of infrastructure for any kind of new business. This is nothing that the city's going to have to maintain as far as clogged drains or anything. So, in the long run, it's definitely going to pay for itself. The resources that we don't have to have, adding 2,000.
It's tax.
Yeah, there's no, the design is to allow water to flow underneath it so that it won't cause any type of backup for drainage for the city. The downtown council has agreed to take care of course, all the plants, just like we do with all the other flower pots. And we've made the design specific to have a lot of planters built into it so that it'll look nice.
I want to ask one more question, if anybody else. Your time frame, right fast, we discussed it today, so I'm
We
trying
got
to
it.
get our council involved with this, so I
Right.
thought you were going to bring me something back.
I did. They were able to pull something together today. So what they're looking at is, what's CDS? They said to complete the CDS. Probably, I think it's the design of it, finalize the design. So that'll be done between January 1st and the 14th. They'll send it out to bid in the middle of January, award the contract the 1st of February.
Okay.
And then we'll be looking at hopefully having it installed by the middle of April.
I'll be coming back with a resolution to the council to fund this project with the amount that you're talking about. So I want to let y'all know, that's why I brought it here earlier like this, and we're looking at approximately 20. So Amy, if you'll help me with on that, I'd appreciate it. Okay, Debbie?
One more
Ms.
thing, and I
Ross?
know this,
You always say that, but you're always, go ahead, one more, go ahead, ma'am.
the sign, one more thing. The signs to the public parking, this is something that I've been going off on forever. You know, people are telling me that there's no parking when I know that there's parking, right? You just don't know where it is. And I mean, we need the signs, the arrows, public parking this way like you have in other cities. And we don't have to wait on this for that. We could go ahead and get those public parking signs up now.
It's up to you, of course, but I'll be glad to do that. And I'm glad that we who do have some part of a problem with parking to some,
A good thing.
that's a high-class problem to me. So again, I'll be coming back to you,
All right.
Councilman. I wanted you to see what we're talking about. Anything from you on Rock Region?
All right,
Thank you
thanks so
very
much. Appreciate
Thank
it.
y'all. Appreciate it. Let's see, what else we got, Diane?
We're up to the consent agenda.
Okay.
You have items,
Do I go to public comment now, or do we go past it? We gonna do it at the end, or what? Because I got some public comments right here.
right, you'll do, now the little square cards we'll do at the end,
At
and
the
then
end?
the sheet we'll do when we call the items.
Got you covered. Okay,
Yeah.
let's go ahead. Consent
So
agenda then, please.
consent items, you've got R21-203 through 209. Does anyone want one pulled?
204 and 207.
204 and 207? So Mayor, now you need a motion.
May I
So
ask
moved.
for one? There's a motion.
Your second?
Second.
This is where you ask for the all in favor.
I am going to, I was just looking at 207. I say, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
So
Now,
I'm pulling, let's go to R2120 on 204. Is that correct?
yep,
Please call it.
a resolution authorizing the mayor and city clerk to enter into a license agreement with Unity Fiber LLC.
I think you want to know what that's about, correct?
No, I have a comment.
We got a comment? Go ahead then.
I move for adoption.
Wait, we just make
So
some.
moved.
Second. Okay. Now,
I thought somebody wanted to talk.
they do. Deb,
I
Ms.
read
Ross.
it already.
Okay, this is my, I know everybody has their one thing that they're kind of get hooked up on, and mine are these poles that these utility companies and that they're putting everywhere in the city. We've got one corner on McCain, it's in Ward 4, that has 8 of those white poles with the orange, and we're putting back money to improve McCain's appearance and everything, and we've just got these going in continuously. They're not putting in one now, they're putting in 2, and then they're knocked over and they're laid there. So that was one thing that I asked
Go ahead, Ms.
City Attorney,
Fields.
Ms. Fields, and I know that there's nothing we can do about it, but they don't have to use those poles. They could
Right.
use a fake rock or something with that their name on it or something that looks better than what they're using right now.
And I do think that there are different alternatives. There was one company when they first started laying a lot of fiber about 4 or 5 years ago that really did poles to excess as the new, and the obtrusiveness of them to excess as new companies have started coming in. And understanding Councilmember Ross's concerns. And I knew when I filed this, I would probably hear from her, and I did. And I've been in contact with both the attorney for Unity, their outside counsel, as well as their in-house counsel, and they are aware of our concerns. And I think that the last company that came in, Unite Private Networks, I've asked them to work with our engineering on the poles, on the, not necessarily them looking like a rock, because the fiber is so expensive that we have to understand that it does need to be well marked, because if it gets cut or damaged, It's a pretty significant loss for the companies, but to be mindful of the aesthetics, and both Unite as well as Unity, which is a subsidiary of Windstream, know that they need to work with us on that as far as the aesthetics.
Ms. Ross?
And I'll bring this up every single time, but there still are better ways of doing this. I mean, it doesn't have to have a white pole with the orange top with 8 of them on one corner. That's not at the intersection. That's on one corner that they've got them there. So, you know, they're out of control. I'll just put it that way right now.
Gotcha. Anything else?
On the motion, Ross?
Yes?
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson? Yes. Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
And Gann?
Yes.
R21-207, Mayor Hartwick.
Please call it.
A resolution authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute real estate contract to sell property located at 3500 Camp Robinson in the city of North Little Rock, Arkansas, to Lone Oak Properties, LLC.
Move for adoption.
Second.
Motion to adopt, Ms. Ross.
Okay, this is the one that we had previously, you know, we had accepted an offer, and then that one fell through, and so this is a new offer on this. And the one thing that the Neighbors United for Levy, the Welcome to Levy sign there is on that property. That is their sign that they put there, and so I don't know who here is
Mr.
representing.
Birch, please come up.
I just want to guarantee that that sign will stay there and they put the money into it.
Did you understand the question?
Yes,
All right.
and that question was actually posed to you and I early on, and we have committed to them that that sign is not going to be touched.
Okay.
And if it is, if we end up maybe, if it's a possibility to move it, it will be if they want to move it, but it's not part of the sale of this property.
Okay, so can you tell us a little bit about who's purchasing this and what the purpose is going to be?
This one, I didn't have a chance to look at the email today. I was tied up. I think Amy did.
I did. I saw the email that was sent last week from the realtor. He had forwarded an email from the potential buyer. He wants to put a faith-based program into the property that serves youth in the area, and also indicated that he has recently bought a 1918 fire truck that he has restored that he's going to display outside of the property.
I guess my other question is, is there appropriate, I mean, are they going to have enough parking? Because there's very limited parking there. That's one
They've
of my
got enough
concerns.
for one. See, I think I checked it the other day and we're not through with Levy at Jump Starts yet.
Right.
So there will be some more parking available in that area, around the area, but,
In that spot, you can add up to actually 8 more parking spots.
Exactly.
If they change just where the parking is now and some of that land in front of it.
Mr.
Can
Taylor.
be used. They can,
Sorry.
we actually had that survey done, that they can add up 8 more, but with it being for youth, it is going to be more of a drop-off area to drop them off. So, and I know that this gentleman was actually, or this group was actively trying to buy the property when it was under contract the first time, and they stayed with it the entire time. So it's a good, solid offer.
So is it for youth in the neighborhood, or is it outside youth coming in?
It'll be mainly for youth in that area.
In that area? Okay.
Mr. Taylor.
And I would also point out it's a full price offer. It's, the
10,000,
offer
yeah.
you all had previously accepted was $10,000 below the asking price, and this is a full price offer.
Mr. Taylor.
So why don't we do something, this sign thing, it keeps coming up. Why don't we just get them to grant us an easement or grant Levy?
And we're just going to cut it out of when we do the survey, just going to cut that part out and keep it.
What do you,
The spot where the sign sits is still going to be city property.
how you gonna do that?
Just resurvey it. Go ahead, Miss Amy.
Well, you can't by a survey, like make property that is not ours, but. we can-
Exactly.
Can I ask a question? So if we sell the property to them and talk about the sign, they could then take the property that we're questioning, mark it out, and dedicate it to the city, correct?
Oh, yeah, actually, is it Levy that's concerned with the sign, or is the city that's concerned with the sign?
It's the people of Levy that's their sign.
So Levy has a neighborhood association.
Well, yeah, right.
So why don't we get an easement or something and give that to to the neighborhood association and it'd be there to take care of and to maintain, and they have access to it, and they can have the sign.
I don't have an issue with that.
With the buyer?
I don't think so. I'll contact them in the morning.
Okay.
I mean, it makes it clean.
Yeah.
Makes it clean, and that way that we,
So we go forward with this
Yeah.
and just get it cleaned up? Okay, we'll do.
I guess one of the things is, and not that this is going to happen to them, is, we see so many neighborhood groups come and go. And, they've one of the oldest ones that's been around, but, what happens in 5, 10 years that group is no longer together? So keeping it in the city, I think I don't know. I'm just thinking ahead what could happen.
It's up to y'all.
It works
I'd
for
like
me.
to see the sale of the property. I do think that we should try to do something, let them sell it and let them dedicate it back to us. And
Yeah.
if that's it,
Yeah.
it's ours.
that's fine with me.
You can go forward with that, I'd appreciate it. I'll make it happen, if you don't mind. Everybody? Ms. Diane?
Okay, on the motion to adopt, Ross?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
And Gann?
Yes.
R21-210, Mayor Hartwick.
Please call it.
A resolution confirming the city's intent to issue bonds for the purpose of assisting and financing of facilities that will be useful in securing or developing industry within the city of North Little Rock to
Move
be
for
leased to a
adoption.
company that will be announced tonight.
Motion to adopt.
And then I have an
Second.
amendment.
I know you would.
Then I have amendment.
Come on. Go ahead. I'm getting them up here. How you doing, by the way? I'm well. You're good seeing you. Yes, ma'am. Questions?
Well, no, I have an amendment first.
Go
I'll
ahead,
and
do the
make
amendment.
this. Where it, amend where it says company in there, we need to amend that to Dolgen Corp. LLC, or its
It's
affiliates.
Dolgen,
Corp.
Dolgen LLC, or its affiliate, and it's in two
Oh, I thought it said
places.
Dolgen Corp. Okay.
LLC?
It is LLC, but it's
Okay.
DOLGENCORP,
Oh,
comma,
I'm
LLC.
sorry.
No, it's
Okay.
okay.
Oh,
that's
you were
what I-
right. It's all one word. I apologize.
So there's an amendment on the floor?
Get a second?
Second?
Okay, on the motion to amend, Ross?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
And Gann?
Yes.
Is there a motion to adopt as amended?
Move for adoption as
Second.
amended.
Before we do, I see Ms. Ross again.
Now explain what we're doing.
We're about to. We're just about to.
Well, I'd like for them to
I'd rather
explain
get
before we
this-
vote on it, so.
No, I
yes.
think you're going to vote on it, if you don't mind, and then let me bring, because I've got press here, if you don't mind. Please, if you allow me this one, please. If you don't.
So we're going to vote on it before they explain it?
Yeah, I think you're going to like it.
Well, then I have questions.
All right, you got it?
Okay. And I know that I talked to Robert, and I talked to you about this, is, as far as the taxes situation, the breakdown that comes from, and I understand we don't have it now, so we're not really technically losing anything, but can you just kind of tell us how the breakdown on this goes?
Sure. And let me start by introducing myself. I'm sorry. My name is Michelle Allgood. I'm an attorney with Mitchell Williams, and I have been engaged by Dolgen Corp. LLC to work with the city. The city has indicated it is willing to consider incentives for this project, that if Dolgen Corp. Will come and invest in this community, then what the city is considering is offering tax abatement. So under Arkansas law, what local communities can do is they can tell a company, if you come and invest in our community, especially somewhere where we have no tax revenue. So right now we have an empty field, and we have a company that is willing to purchase this property and to put a significant amount of improvements on this property. It would be a warehouse distribution center for, well, Dollar General is the company that is doing this. Dolgen Corp. Is its affiliate. So what if you adopt this resolution of intent, what you would say is, if you come here and invest to increase our tax revenue that we don't have right now, but to incentivize you, rather than you paying the full rate of taxes, under Arkansas law, you would pay 35% of what would otherwise be due. So under Arkansas law, a local community can grant 65% abatement for the projects. And that is typically what we see in Arkansas, is that local communities grant the full level of abatement of 65%. And the taxes that would be paid would be based on their actual investment. So right now, we have a proposed possibility of $140 million worth of investment. It is anticipated that this will be a phased project. Also, y'all are aware that construction costs are not going down. They are going up. So there is some room in these numbers. Current estimate, probably $75 million of investment that would be coming in. So the taxes that would get paid to the taxing authorities would be based on, let's just say it's worth $75 million. It would be the normal millage that is associated with this property. You would do the calculation, and then the company would pay 35% of what would otherwise be due.
And then I still have a question for Robert. So Robert, can you kind of explain what, you can do your spiel now.
I'd be happy to.
I know you would.
This is a project we've been working on for over a year. But no, I take that back. It started right at the first of the year, so close to a year. It is one of 3 projects that is coming to that same area out at the Tulip Farms. This one is almost ready to be fully announced by the company. They'll do their press release when they sign the contracts on the land. There's one stipulation left. It is going to start out at about 300 employees. It possibly could grow up to 600. Companies are normally very cautious when they give those employment numbers out. For instance, Amazon told us 500. They're at 1,500, and they're going to cap out at 1,650. And that's not seasonal employees. That's their regular employees. It's a good, strong wage. It's similar to what Amazon is doing in the market. A good, strong benefits package brings a lot to our citizens, giving them opportunity for good jobs. And it's going to be one of the, I think there's one other right now that are building their new fresh market design for Dollar Generals, that they're going to have more fresh food, better food for their better food for the citizens of North Little Rock. That's what the cold storage part of the facility is so that they can provide these fresh foods. So it's a big win for us, honestly.
Anybody else? All right. Thank y'all.
On the motion to adopt as amended, Ross?
Yes?
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
And Gann?
Yes.
And so y'all know, we've been kind of keeping this as quiet as possible. I see Neil there, so Robert and your lady there, y'all can answer the questions. I'm sure he's going to come at us, okay? And I appreciate you doing that. All right,
Okay, R21-211, Mayor Hartwick.
please call it.
Resolution certifying the amount of a cleanup lien to be filed with Pulaski County Tax Collector against certain real property located at 4412 Rogers Street, the city of North Little Rock.
Let me go ahead and, I get a call of public hearing on this, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
I'll move for adoption.
Okay,
Second.
second.
Thank you. Now public hearing.
I'm going to call a public hearing. Those wishing to speak for or against this resolution, please come forward. And seeing none, I'll adjourn this public hearing. Go ahead.
Now on the motion, Ross?
Yes?
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson? Yes. Baxter?
Yes.
Harris? Yes. And Gann?
Yes.
O21-212, Mayor Hartwick.
Please.
Resolution certifying the amount of a cleanup lien to be filed with Pulaski County Tax Collector against certain real property located at 5505 Chiquito Road. Is there a motion?
Move.
Second.
I need to call a public hearing again. If you don't mind, I'm going to convene this public hearing for R21-212. Those who speaking for it or against it, please come forward. Seeing none, I'll adjourn this public hearing.
On the motion, Ross?
Yes?
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
And Gann?
Yes.
Ordinances O21-106. Council members Ross, Hamilton, Robinson, Taylor, Baxter, Harris, and Gann.
Please call it.
An ordinance providing for an annual cost of living increase for retired mayors and city clerk treasurers. First reading.
Move to suspend the readings.
Second.
On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
And Gann?
Yes.
Is there a motion to adopt?
So move.
Second.
Are we ready to vote? On the motion to adopt, Ross?
Yes?
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
And Gann?
Yes.
On the emergency, Ross?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
And Gann?
Yes.
Thank you.
And all of you all, please ask your friends in the Municipal League to also provide for this cost of living increase at the next legislative session for retired city attorneys.
There you go.
Okay, 021-107, Mayor Hartwick.
Please call it.
An ordinance providing for the collection of a franchise fee from Unity Fiber LLC on services provided within the municipal boundaries of the city of North Little Rock, providing for the method of payment thereof. First reading.
Move to suspend the readings.
Second.
On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
And Gann?
Yes.
Is there a motion to adopt?
So move.
Second.
Okay. Is there any discussion?
Don't see any.
On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
And Gann?
Yes.
On the emergency, Ross?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
And Gann?
Yes.
Okay, next item is 021-108, Councilmember Robinson.
Please call it.
An ordinance accepting the dedication of public street and drainage facilities constructed with the development of Phase 11 of Faulkner Crossing in the city of North Little Rock. First reading.
Move to suspend all readings.
Second.
On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
And Gann?
Yes.
Is there a motion to adopt?
So moved.
Second.
Hang on. Ms. Ross?
Is anybody here from engineering?
Yeah, I've got him here for
Is
you.
David Cook
It's
here?
David. We've talked. Go ahead, David. I was calling, come
Oh,
on
I
up.
didn't see him back there.
Yeah.
No, and I was talking to David today because normally we'll have a letter from the city engineer's office saying that, if they've inspected the streets in there to the city standards or anything. But David was telling me about that they'd gone above and beyond on what they're doing now as far as the drain cameras.
Yes, especially out there with the Stone Links and Faulkner Crossing issues we've had with the drainage installation. Not too long ago, we, in the street department, purchased a camera to be able to film all the underground stormwater system. So this is actually the first one that we've gotten to do with a street and drainage acceptance. And it was just go in there and look at every joint, see how clean it is, make sure it was installed correctly, along with our new inspector getting to be out there part-time watching the installation. So it's a neat thing, and we're telling the contractors too, up front at all these pre-con meetings, that we will camera every storm line that's put in to a new subdivision that will be public to hopefully improve the performance of work.
It's a good thing.
Quality assurance.
Again, we've looked at it. What it amounts to is what they've done, the work they've done has been very quality work, and we're now making sure we can see it, as Ms. Ross said. So, anything else?
Nope, I was just
I agree
thrilled
with
that
you.
we're doing that
We
now.
know. All right, David, thank you, sir.
Okay, on the motion to adopt, Ross?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
And Gann?
Yes.
On the emergency, Ross?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
And Gann?
Yes.
021-109, Councilmembers Ross and Hamilton.
Please call it.
An ordinance granting a waiver of Section 14.102E1 of Ordinance Number 7697 to allow the replacement of the faces of an existing pole sign in a C2 small-scale commercial district for certain real property located at 4702 John F. Kennedy Boulevard in the city of North Little Rock. First reading.
Move to suspend the readings.
Second.
Motion suspended, seconded.
On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
And Gann?
Yes.
Is there a motion to adopt?
So moved.
Oh, you all, I'm sorry, we needed to convene a public hearing on this.
Oops.
So do you, do we need the motion first, since they've suspended the first reading? Well, we have a motion, we just need a second.
Okay, do a motion in a second. Don't forget a public hearing.
Is that a second, Councilmember Baxter, with your hand?
Sure.
Okay, awesome. Press on.
All right, I got a public hearing on R 21-109. I see Mr. Matthews in the audience. If you don't mind, just in case, Mr. Matthews, if you don't mind coming up, please.
Al Matthews with Matthews Properties. This sign waiver is being requested in so much as there was a previous tenant there years ago called, I believe it was called Peerless Eye Clinic. That was just eons ago, like in the mid-'70s. And they had that sign there, and then there's been subsequent tenants. And the last tenant, Instaprint, has moved out, and this new tenant moves in, and he wants to utilize the sign that is existing and has been since mid-'70s.
Got you. Any person else wanting to speak on this public hearing? If not, I'm going to adjourn the public hearing. Press adjourn.
Councilmember Baxter had his hand up earlier.
I didn't see it, Steve. I apologize. You know where this is?
Yes, I was just, never mind. Let's go.
Okay, right.
On the motion to adopt, Ross?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
McGinn?
Yes.
On the emergency, Ross?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
McGinn?
Yes.
021-110, Councilmember Taylor.
Please call it.
An ordinance rezoning property located at 1203 West 25th Street in the city of North Little Rock from C3 to R2 zoning classification by amending ordinance 9263, first reading.
Move to suspend the readings.
Second.
Motion suspend, second.
On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
McGinn?
Yes.
This also calls for a,
So do you want a
Public
motion
I was gonna
before the
say-
public
Yes,
hearing?
I'm sorry, y'all. I'd gotten ahead of myself last time.
So a motion and a second, then the public hearing.
so moved.
Thank you. And who seconds?
Second.
Thank you. Okay, Mayor, your turn.
We'll do it. Motion to call public hearing. Those wishing to speak for this public hearing, please come forward or against it. See none, I will adjourn the public hearing. Please go forward.
On the motion to adopt, Ross?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
McGinn?
Yes.
On the emergency, Ross?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
McGinn?
Yes.
021-111, Councilmember Taylor.
Please call it.
An ordinance rezoning property located at 2507 Parker Street in the city of North Little Rock from C3 to R2 zoning classification by amending ordinance 9263, first reading.
Move to suspend the readings.
Second.
On the motion, Ross?
But let's do the suspend the readings and get it on the
Then
floor
I'll get it.
first.
Where are we?
Suspend readings.
Suspend the
First
reading.
Suspending, okay. Robinson?
Taylor is a yes.
Taylor?
Taylor's yes, Robinson.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
I didn't say yes.
Oh, come on.
But
Okay.
can I
Boy,
move
that-
for adoption?
Again, didn't get to say yes.
Yes.
Okay. Moving for adoption.
And now I need to call public hearing, if you don't mind.
And I just realized we have
So moved.
someone on hold on the
And I
phone.
just saw it right now, so let me go ahead and get to this. So we're on 21-111. Ms. Stacy, are you there? Let me do it. Let's call this public hearing. And this public hearing is in order. Those wishing to speak for or against this, and I have Ms. Stacy Midlock on the phone. Ms. Midlock?
Yes, this is Stacy Medlock with RE/MAX, and I'm for the motion to rezone the property to residential. It's in a residential area. I'm not quite sure why it's C3, but there's several houses right there beside it, and I believe there were an existing home on both those lots originally that burned. And this builder, I love what he's doing. He's going down there and buying up lots and building nice new construction homes, helping the area improve.
All right, and my apology for missing you on our 21-110, okay, Mr.?
That's okay. No, that's okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I was just gonna tell her that we're ready to vote on this. She'd have to sell it.
That's what I say.
Okay.
You did a good job, though.
Thank you.
Anybody else wishing on the public hearing, please come forward or talk. If not, I'll adjourn this public hearing.
On the motion to adopt, Ross?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
McGinn?
Yes.
On the emergency, Ross?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
McGinn?
Yes.
Concludes new business, and I believe you have two
I
that
have two
have signed
people
up to
for-
speak on public comment.
I'll go, I don't know who came first, but I'll go with Mr. Taylor. Ms. Taylor, please. Bobby?
Mr. Taylor, you come to the podium.
Yes, sir.
Good evening, Mayor.
How you doing, sir?
Council members. My name is Bobby Taylor. I just wanted to talk to you, Mayor, a little bit about these recycle bins and these garbage cans. They're just kind of getting out of hand. I hadn't said nothing about it in a good while. I know some of the people, we don't have a crime watch anymore. It's on hold. And the people that used to come there complained about them and the cars and stuff in the yard is abandoned. Them is getting worse. but I don't feel like them as a health issue like it's recycle and garbage cans that's used and not put back beside the house.
So what you're saying to me, you see these garbage cans being left out after
Got
pickup?
some of these garbage cans, it's people right there in the neighborhood close to me, just throws the garbage out there where the trash cans are at, where the garbage cans are at. And they never put them back, and dogs and cats get in that stuff and scatters it. And I don't expect the sanitation people to get down on their hands and knees and rake that stuff up. And then when the wind starts blowing, here goes that paper and stuff, it goes everywhere, and you can see the evidence of it. You don't have to take my word for it, just drive through the neighborhood out there. And I want to see what I can do to work with someone. I've called everybody at the sanitation department. They just pass it down, well, you need to talk to so-and-so. I talked, and he said, no, I don't have that. That's not my problem. You know, you have to talk to so-and-so. So I've quit talking to them, and that's the reason I called you, is
I'll
to
call
set
you
up a
back
meeting
every
with you,
time,
and
though.
I'll give you a couple of weeks to think about it and see what we can come up with, somebody to give me a phone number and somebody I can talk to. And I live out there. I don't just visit there. I've been living out there for over 65 years, and I hate to see it in the shape it's in. And another thing, too, there's some people that's cleaning yards, doing leaf work and stuff like that, and they bring them there in the neighborhood and dump that stuff, and the city has to pick it up. Now, also, these people that's buying these houses and rehabbing them, that's a good deal. But after they rehab one of these houses and pile that stuff out in front of the house, it stays there a few days, and people go through that stuff, get what they want out of it, and it looks like a city dump when they get through with it. And it never really all gets picked up. And that's not the city's fault to pick that stuff up, not y'all's responsibility. That belongs to the people that buys these houses and stuff like that. So, I mean, I just want to be available to work with you, and I'm not going to let up on this. I'm gonna fix to stay after it. So I want to be your friend, and we'll see what we can do about it. But I'll give you a couple of weeks, and if you don't call me, I'll be back down here.
Do me a favor, okay? Now, I've returned your call every time, right, Bobby? Every time. I've returned your call every time you've talked to me. What I'd suggest, though, if you'll give me addresses and shoot us, say, in Rose City.
Yeah, there.
In fact, when you called me last time, I was out at Water Street and Powerline Drive, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
There must have been.
Well, there's one right down there, right at the end of the street. The recycle bin's been there, I know, a month, and the lid's open. I can see a couple of cans on top of it, and it looked like a mop handle sticking out of it, and it ain't been shut. It's just sitting right there.
Well, give me
within
addresses.
20
We've
foot
got
of
our
the
Unit
street.
50 that works pretty good. Patrick Lane's pretty good at Unit 50. If you'll give me addresses, we respond, just like I did on Powerline Drive and Water Street. I know there's a lot of problems out there. I don't think there's any law on our books that says they have to take their trash off the street back to their house. I don't know how I can find, is there one?
There actually is. You can only take it out after, I think, like 5 p.m. the day before your pickup, and it has to be picked up. I can't remember the exact times, but there is a law and a
What
citation.
can I do? Miss Felicia, you're out there. Come on up, please,
Some
for
of
me.
these houses out there don't even have an address on them,
Okay. Miss Felicia?
but I'll do the best I can. for
I
the
know you are,
address.
and I appreciate you helping. You are helping. I'm not disagreeing with you.
Okay.
Miss Felicia, I know what they're saying, so we could, if they don't pull them up the day before, I can't have you go out there at what, writing tickets? What do we do?
It is a violation of the sanitation code, and I think sanitation has their own code enforcement officer. It's not
Thank you,
Felicia.
sir.
You're welcome, Bobby. Appreciate it. So be aware of it. Let's see if we can help you, okay?
Mayor?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll send an email to Condo, and I'll copy you and Chief Davis on that so that you'll, and I'll,
And send to Patrick Lane too. Unit 50,
Okay.
I don't know where they're working all the time, but we've got Unit 50, which is going to get, we're going to get some more Unit 50s next year, but right now we can start
and on
working.
those rental properties, we're seeing a lot of people coming in where they've been written tickets and fines, so we're collecting a lot of money on those cleanouts on those rental properties.
Thank you, Felicia. All right, Ms. Zena Green, you're there? Come on, Portland. You're fine, ma'am.
I'm not sure if it has to be about the area that I stay in, but I stay in the Acts Church area, and I want to address the animal control thing, and I don't know why they stopped it. I don't have money to trap that coon that was in my backyard
Where is it? What's your address again?
It's on the card.
1318 Franklin Street?
Yeah, and now had a heart attack. But anyway, so I don't know why they stopped it, and I don't have the money to
I
get no
actually
traps and all.
I know the answer on that.
All right.
They are not setting traps right now because they don't have the people to check them on a daily basis, so they don't want the animals staying in. I found this out because my neighbor had a cat under their house and was wanting a trap.
Yeah, because I've been there, it'll be 30 years in March, and they always have done that. And I said, I can't trap a coon, and I don't have to shoot him. I mean,
I don't
but
want
I'm
you
just
shooting or
saying,
trapping. We'll see if we
I'm-
can.
And then I'm address one other issue, then I'm
Yes, ma'am.
good. Like I said, there has been more discrimination going on in the last, since the 30 years. I mean, this is really kind of like at Walmart on McCain, Crestwood Elementary. The principal kicked me out the school. I was subbing there. She said, "Get out of my school." I have never experienced such negative behavior. And I was going over to something. I was like, it was really shocking to me to be treated like that.
Where was this again? Tell me
That's
again.
Crestwood Elementary, and this was in November of 2020. And I was so sick and stressed out that time because I
Did you go to the school board? Did you go to the school board?
went to the office down there and told them, I said, I couldn't believe that. She just said, "Get out of my school." And I was like, I'm coming there for the students there, but I shouldn't be treated like that. I just went back out to school, and she screamed and hollered at me, and you would not be paid. I mean,
Well, accept my apology, but you should have taken that to the school board, and if you need help on getting someone there, I'd be glad to help you, okay?
so,
Okay.
basically,
And try to get the coon trapped, right?
yeah.
I'll call to Dave and see what we can do, I promise you. I've got your number here. I'll give you a call, okay?
I went down to Stanley's, and they were telling me, I was like, I don't know what to do about the coon, and I had the house closed up, and he just looked at me, and I ran the other way.
Anything else for anybody? Did I miss anything? Mr. Baxter?
So Mayor, let me ask this question. Many moons ago, when the arena was first built, one of the things that they talked about was, because parking was a premium even back then. I can't remember the actual year that it opened. I've slept once or twice, maybe not well, but, so the deal was that they were gonna provide a shuttle service both over to the Little Rock side and to the North Little Rock side. I mean, and parking has not gotten any easier. What has become of that? And that's gone away for, what, 10, 15 years?
Who
Or
was
at
going
least
to
10.
provide the shuttle? Who was going to
I can't remember.
Rock Region Metro, when it was CATA, they had a surcharge on the ticket prices to cover those buses that would go back and forth.
Okay.
I'm just curious as to, why we got away from that with parking even being, tougher now with the arena and the other, opportunities that we have for, folks to spend money
That
downtown.
would be a good question for the Rock Region guy.
Okay. I'm just curious.
I'll email you and remind you that tomorrow, too.
Please do, please do. I'll get with Chris Kent and the people again. All right, anybody else? Yes, ma'am, Ms. Thompson.
I'd like to speak with Chief Tessing after the meeting.
Chief, you're here. Did you hear that?
After the meeting.
Okay. After the meeting. Anybody else? Hang on just.
Remind everybody about the holiday.
I was going to say, December 31st, the offices will close for New Year's. I cannot say enough about condo and what they've been doing. I don't know if y'all know it, but our sanitation workers, while we were off, they worked all the way up, and I was out with them quite a bit. So they are still in the process of leaf pickup. They picked up all the trash all the way up through Friday, and of course, they're back out today. So those guys and ladies did a heck of a job, and I appreciate it. I want everybody to have a safe and prosperous New Year. I cannot thank y'all enough for the support I've had this year. With you coming on board, we're having a heck of a year so far. We appreciate you very, very much. On a motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
On the motion to adjourn, Ross?
Yes.
Taylor? Robinson? Baxter? Harris? And Ginn?
Happy New Year.
Garfield.